Welcome to another episode of Speaking with the Senator. I'm Senator Kevin Avard, and today we have a special guest, a local guest, basically. And, my wife Tracy and I, we just came back from Pennsylvania. It was a long, long drive. And we went to go see my stepdaughter, who's studying medicine, and she's in that field. She wants to get into some type of pharmaceutical. But anyway, that being aside, long drive back. And I got to tell you something. Living in Nashua is a gift. When you come back from a place like Philadelphia, you really learn to appreciate home. And one of the nice things about home is that you have everything within a 45-minute drive. You have Boston, you have the mountains, you have the ocean. And we have a lot of good things here in Nashua, New Hampshire, a lot of good local things going on. And another bright spot that's happening in our town is St. Joe's Hospital. They have this new system that we're going to be talking about. And I think it's really important that people know that we have this here. You know, in 1983, 82 or 83, my dad died from a heart attack, and his arteries were really shot. And back then, they didn't have the technology they have today. And so today, we're going to talk a little bit more about, the new things that are here in our local town and here at St. Joe's Hospital. And so today, I have Kirk Perry, yes. With St. Joe's Hospital, and to talk about the new, it's called the Cath Lab.
Yeah, so we've had a Cath Lab here since 1988 at St. Joe's, but we're opening up and replacing our existing GE lab with a state-of-the-art Philips system. It's an Azurian, and it offers a ton of technology. One of the biggest things looking forward would be for us to make sure that our image quality is state-of-the-art, which it is.
They had an amazing screen.
Yeah, it's an amazing technology, but it also has a huge dose reduction. So anytime you use fluoroscopy to visualize arteries where you're replacing the blood momentarily with contrast, for us to do that, you have to use fluoroscopy. So you want to limit the amount of dosage for not just the patient, but also the staff, and the staff are in the room every day. Mm-hmm. So this new system has technology that reduces the dose, so you don't need as much penetrating power or fluoroscopy to visualize the image, and the dose reduction is 75 to 80% over other systems.
There's like a wraparound type of image. Is that what I understood? Or 3D or something?
Yeah. So to understand what we do, I'll use the PVC pipe analogy. Is if you took a PVC pipe and you laid it on the ground and you filled it half with sand, if you looked directly down on it, the pipe would look completely full. If you looked 90 degrees from the side, the pipe would look half full. So the idea is you need a system in order to visualize your coronary anatomy that is actually beating and moving while we do it, and it's also kind of going in different directions and stuff. You need to take multiple views of every single artery, and there's 3 main arteries that feed the heart. And in order to do that, you got to go to this side of the patient, to the feet, to the head, and this system allows us not only to do that, but they have this thing called it's a coronary system that you do one injection, and the system will kind of fly around, limiting the dose that goes to the patient, and also the people who are standing there scrubbed in, assisting the doctor and the physicians themselves.
That's got to be a major help as far as diagnosis.
It is. It cuts down on time to do the procedure, but it also the quality, so you don't miss anything. Because when we talk about what we're looking at, it's in millimeters. So some of the arteries we're looking at are 3 millimeters. So they're very, very small. It's not something that we're looking at in the legs and stuff, where the diameter of those blood vessels can be 10, 12 millimeters.
Now, versus the technology that you mentioned in 1988, how is this much better?
Well, so over the course of 1988, we've replaced our existing room. Our existing GE room is about 10 years old, and new technology keeps coming out with the digital world. So the way the technology interacts with what's emitting the radiation really has allowed us, because there's multiplication factors and stuff, and a lot of math going on behind the scenes. Right. So it allows to reduce the dose needed in order to produce the image that we need. Right. And I think that, if you took the last 20 years in cardiology and you looked at what images used to look at 20 years ago and what we're capable of looking at now, it's like almost, if you wear glasses, it's almost like looking through a pair of glasses that were slightly fogged and now looking through a binocular.
Interesting.
So you can do a lot of this stuff after you take the picture too, like it's called post manipulation. So if we take a picture of your artery, in years past, you would have to take a picture again while you move something, take a picture again. You can manipulate what you're looking at and stuff without having to take another picture. So that limits the radiation going to the patient too. So there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. We can measure your blood vessels, measure the type of blockage you have and the severity. So anytime we look at a blood vessel, anything under 70% stenosis, we tend to fix with medicines and just watch it. Anything over 70%, the thought process is that we should go in with a balloon and a stent. And a stent is a device that you go into the blood vessel and you take the calcium that is deposited in there and you kind of push it against your blood vessel wall, and the stent goes in and it has what's called radial force. So it pushes against that blockage out into the wall and keeps the blood vessel open. So that's what we're doing in theory.
So, we were talking off camera a little bit about diet. So you had mentioned that, one of the things that if you want to get rid of some certain body fats, maybe that intermittent fasting.
There's a whole, that's not my background and stuff, but I'm 52, so I'm not 25 anymore. So I think that when you look at what people do and what people eat, the older you get, the more of an impact there is.
Yeah.
So if you eat terrible, but you work out 3 hours a day, it's going to be different when you're 50 than when you're 25 years old. So 25, we could eat pizza every day and not gain a pound.
Diet's important.
Diet's important. And smoking is a big thing. Some people with diabetes can impact blood vessels, but it's also genetic. So like if your parents, had issues when they were younger and stuff, it's important to get checked and stuff like that and follow up with your PCP.
Keep up on the cholesterol. Yeah. I noticed during the ribbon cutting, you recently had the ribbon cutting at St. Joe's. They were talking a little bit about the less dose of radiation for the techs, so the actual people that are actually working in the room.
I still scrub and do cases once in a while, but the staff who are in there every single day, they wear lead, so the lead protects them, so the radiation hits the lead and it's just like a barrier, so they don't hit it. But your arms are exposed, your eyes are exposed, your head, the bottom of your legs and stuff. And the idea, and we monitor that with badges to make sure it's an acceptable level. But anytime you can reduce that to people that are in the room and to the patients who are on the table getting the primary beam, it's a good thing. And the best part about the new technology is the dose reduction does not impact image quality. So that we're not only reducing the dose, we're, increasing our image quality tenfold, and the images for that new system are absolutely incredible. We truly, I think, have the most state-of-the-art lab in the state.
Now, this is different than, for the folks listening, this is definitely different than an MRI. I went and had an MRI not too long ago, and you're stuck in this thing and you're sitting still like...
so MRI, like a lot of patients respond about being claustrophobic. There's a donut, makes noise. A lot of the images that we do in MRI take a lot longer. So this is, you're on the table, you're more open.
No big bang. No,
there's no big bang. So, the new system too is actually very, very quiet. But realistically, we put a small catheter in your radial artery. The physician goes in and injects dye into the 3 major heart vessels and looks for blockages. And a cath can be, in the matter of minutes. If you don't find anything, you can have a cath in 15 minutes once you start. If we find something and the doc chooses to treat it with a stent or something like that, even that whole procedure is generally under an hour.
Interesting. So now, was this part of a state grant or a federal grant that helped pay for all this, or how did this?
No, not on this. We are in the process of applying for state grants and stuff for other things. I truly think this is in response. John Jerzyk, our new CEO, I call him new, but he's been here now over 3 years. He is really sat down with what we needed for imaging. I am the director of both cardiology and radiology. And when I took over radiology 3 or 4 years ago, there's a lot of things that needed to be updated and replaced. Cardiology is something that is evolving. So every 7-8 years, there's technology that comes out that is better and better, but the cost of some of this stuff, just the room we're talking about with construction and for the machine, is over $3 million. So it's a large investment. But over the course of the last 3 years, if we just look at when John Jerzyk was here, we've put 2 brand new Siemens cameras in nuclear medicine. So
what is that?
So nuclear medicine is just another way of imaging things in your body, and you're injected with a radioisotope. So the isotope is in the patient, and the camera picks up that radioisotope, and we do other types of procedures. So there's all sorts of modalities over there, but we are really investing a ton in imaging.
Right.
We've replaced, we've got 2 brand new fluoro rooms going into our radiology department. We're going to be building a second on-site CAT state-of-the-art CT. So we're just taking what we're earning and investing into our future. And there's a huge benefit, one, to attract people who do this for a living. So to find staff, especially post-COVID, it's very hard to find. There's not a lot of cath lab techs. There's not a lot of nurses that work in a cath lab and stuff like that. So from an attraction standpoint, having state-of-the-art equipment with less radiation and stuff like that, you get people,
right,
to come into our community and leave other facilities that they've been at for 20 years. And we're starting to see some of that now.
There's a lot of that seems to be going on. I know my wife works at Little General. She's a mammographer. She's also a X-ray tech. She's been doing it for about 35 years. So I get a lot of shop talk, basically, the new stuff that comes in, or, the struggle that you might have with help and people that they come and go, or management, or I hear the whole thing, and it's important to be up to date with what you just described, because getting help seems to be the big problem these days.
Yeah, it's been a struggle since 2019 when COVID first hit. A lot of people retired early. I've been doing this since 1997 at St. Joe's, so it's been pretty much my whole professional career. And I have a lot of people who I've worked with almost my whole career that are still there. So there's a lot of longevity at St. Joe's, which makes it feel more like a family. And I think that's a big attraction for us when we first interview staff to come on and join our family. But
we wanted to succeed. It's really important that Nashua has these things available.
100%. And I think that we have a lot to offer. And I think that the community is starting to see that we're really reinvesting into our imaging. And I think it's starting to show with not only the help that we're attracting, but the help that we're keeping. And we've changed. We do career interviews with our staff. So that's something that the directors and supervisors and managers, we meet with employees to, get ahead of something. So if there's something we're not aware of, so we do this thing called rounding with staff. So I just finished rounding with our cath lab staff last week. And, you hear things sometimes that you don't hear every day in daily huddles and stuff like that. So it's important to just kind of show that the staff that we care, we listen, we try and help and fix. And sometimes it's all complimentary, and then sometimes there's an issue that you want to address. But I think that we have that mentality throughout our imaging areas.
Not to catch you off guard, but what about you? Do you have an internship thing going on there at the hospital? So
yeah, we are growing in certain imaging areas. We could use MRI or CAT scan, which is some of the other imaging areas that I oversee. But we are taking people in as trainees, meaning that they went to X-ray school, they got their X-ray license. Right. But when you graduate X-ray, it's more associated with bones, so doing plain film and stuff like that. When you go into CT, there's a lot of on-the-job training. And you have to do so many hips, for abdomen, for pulmonary things, and you've got to kind of chip away at it. So we train them how to do it. They sit for their boards, and then we retain them. So we just had one of our CT techs pass our boards. She was a trainee for us, so we're looking at retaining her. So we are growing inside. So we're doing like a lot of growing from within and finding them placement from within. So we're just, not into training someone and having them leave. We obviously want to train people and retain them, but it also, they get embedded with not only the community, but with our staff and our administration and stuff like that. So they become part of us. And when they graduate, they tend to stay on with us, which is
I love our community. It's great. Nashua, you get into Nashua, it's like a breath of fresh air when you're from one of those big cities. It's like, whoa, it's night and day.
Yeah, I've been here my whole life. I grew up in Wyndham, and I currently live in Londonderry, but I've lived within a half hour of Nashua my whole life.
So does somebody have to request from their doctor? I mean, if you're, say, from like Hollis or from Brookline or, outskirts of Nashua, do you have to request from your doctor to come here? How do they get referred to?
So we have a huge primary care base that we continue to build. So if they have a primary care doc outside of our base, they would have to go through their doc. They can request to be here. I know there's a lot of people that routinely used to get their care in Manchester because they lived in Nashua and they were getting their care in Manchester. And I think the tides are turning with that. I think a lot of them are starting to realize we offer the same great care here. So we're seeing a lot of people, traveling to Manchester when you have patients who are, in their 60s or 70s is a lot bigger deal than people think.
Yeah.
So we're working on retaining that, but we're also branching out into communities like Londonderry and, to try and capture some of that volume. But our big push is to expand our primary care physician base.
Yeah, and we want to make sure that you're successful. That's why I wanted you on the show, just so that the local people that are watching the show, or if you're seeing it on YouTube, we want you to know that it's available. It is. You don't necessarily see it on Channel 9, and if you did, it was like a blurb. But here's an opportunity to discuss it a little bit and to show we're growing, and we're offering more things here in the community.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I like I said, I've been here 27, almost 28 years, and it's an exciting time in imaging right now because we're just reinvesting in the technology coming out is very exciting. I still enjoy the tech side of things and how things work and stuff like that, even though I'm in administration. I'm still very much involved with what we do and how we do it and stuff like that. So,
so it used to be a waiting room where it's located.
Yeah, so that was the X-ray waiting room. So we have an existing GE cath lab that's still operational, and we needed to maintain our services because we offer 24/7 PCI,
What's PCI?
PCI is percutaneous coronary intervention.
Okay.
So it's just a fancy thing where if someone's having a heart attack and they get brought to our hospital, we can put them on the table, we look for the blockage, and we can address it and fix it.
Right then and there.
Right then and there.
That's excellent. And there were a number of doctors there that ribbon cutting.
Yes.
Yeah, you have a great staff.
We have an awesome staff.
Yeah, and they've been here for a while, obviously.
Yeah, we've been embedded with and affiliated with them since as long as since I've been working here.
Yeah.
So it's
it was a great event. We saw former Mayor Lozo was there, I believe.
Yes.
And a lot of people from just local organizations just coming to support. Senator Rosenwald was there as well. And so was Senator Chanley.
Yeah, we have a lot of active board members who come and stuff like that. And John Jerzyk, our CEO, was there, and a lot of our other VPs and stuff. So we really are engaged with everybody, which is nice.
So if people want to know more about it, is there, obviously the hospital has a link.
Yeah, they do. If there's anything specific, I'm happy to brag about it. So like if anything came through your office and needed to come to me or went through Tim in marketing, he has sent us stuff before that we can certainly address anything.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it is nice. Again, it's right up the street from the TV station, but it's very local, and it's really important that people know that this option is available to them here in Nashua, and we wanted to make sure that you knew about it. And we're very happy that the hospital is growing.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very proud of the room. I'm also proud of the kind of the turnaround and what everyone has accomplished there over the last couple of years.
Yeah. St. Joe's has been around for a while. I had my tonsils taken out there when I was a kid, so we definitely don't want to see that, but anything but grow.
Yeah, I have staff who are born there and work there now.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's very much a family atmosphere, and that's one of the things that I'm really proud about.
Well, Kirk, I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Oh, you're welcome.
A little bit about this, and for my viewers, I want to thank you for watching this show. And if you like the show, hit like and subscribe, and share this information. If you know somebody that may be looking to get this type of a service or want to know a little bit more about St. Joe's Hospital in Nashua, check it out. Check out their website. And if you have an issue or some type of topic that you want to come on the show and talk about, we'd love to have you. We'd like to share your information with locals. And with that, we just appreciate you watching the show. So until next week, thanks for watching.